So, welcome back once again, ladies and gents. We are obviously in our Relegations Day. We'll be finding out who will be joining us for Season 4. Already, we've had a little bit of a heartbreak moment, but still, it was a chance to see Isuba earning their rights and, well, their position into Season 4. But at the same time, they did knock out Spale, which is one of our favourite teams. It's a little bit, heartbreaking for us to kind of see that happen, but still, Isuba looked extraordinarily strong, certainly going to be getting the attention of the other top teams out there. I think that was a perfect way to start off this play.
It's just amazing. I mean, Isuba showing real class and actually just beating Spale 3-0. So, yeah, as you said, a bit sad to see them go. But once again, some fresh blood always is a very good thing. And we could be seeing another team joining us for Season 4. So already 4 teams heading in. We've got Freefall. We got WSD Gaming already gone in. We've also got now Isuba coming in as well. So some extremely good talent as well. I think we're just going to see if lucky Kuraky, they've been a little bit shaky here and there in Season 1. At least they came 11th place. We can have a little bit of an inkling how they could possibly be playing this round at least, but they could have changed things up like Isuba did.
Yeah, certainly. It's very hard to read these guys at the moment because, as you said, they can change things. Things could be switched up by now. We'll be finding out in a moment because they are getting themselves ready. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's make sure we bring back in the ever-lovely Melly to take you through how you guys at home can get your predictions through to us here in the studio. Now, you guys failed parlously in the last game. You had no faith in Isuba, and they shut you all the hell up. So maybe this time, be a little more careful with your votes because obviously there's gold on the line. So, Melly, do please explain how on earth the people at home can get involved with us here in the studio.
It's really pretty easy. Just serve over to facebook.com/WoT Pro League, where I will be put up a vote before every matchup, and where you have to vote for your favorite team, and then have to predict the exact scoreline of that very matchup in the comment section below. And by getting lucky and guessing the right scoreline, you get the chance to win one of 3 bonus codes. The next thing is, via Twitter, just head over to Twitter and tweet us everything what's on your mind. If you want to give in your prediction via Twitter, do that. Just use the hashtag WGLEU to make sure that we can actually see that tweet. And also, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, any opinions, on what matter ever, just tweet us. We love reading from you, and we want to see all your tweets. So hashtag WGLEU. And of course, follow our Twitch channel. That's very important to stay updated because you will get notified as soon as we're going live and won't miss any minute from our lovely show. And yeah, that's pretty much all. It's not that hard. One thing I want to say regarding our Christmas challenge, everyone that had it in a submission, thank you very much, all you 6,000 people. It was insane. I'm still working through all the messages, so don't worry if you haven't got an answer yet. You will, I promise you, it will take a little time since, well,
6,000.
6,000, that's pretty much all to say, right? And we have a new record on our page. Well, on our Facebook page, we have 10,000 likes.
Wow.
10,134, if I'm not mistaken, or 300. I don't know. But head over to facebook.com/WoT Pro League to check yourself and maybe like our page to stay updated if you haven't yet. That's pretty much all.
Well, you've heard from Melly herself there, so do get involved because we do love hearing from you. But guys, let's not mess around at all now because these guys are pretty much ready to rumble. So let's dive straight in towards the tank picks. You can kind of take me through the lineups and some of the players we should be looking out for here. So
since lucky Kuraky, since we last seen them, they've got a couple of roster changes here and there. Ketavan actually ended up leaving that team. He went to Mal Sports and he's been playing really well for them. And the second one really to mention is Lucas Yisti. He has joined Evil Panda Squad. Both teams, Evil Panda Squad and Mal Sports, will be at the Season 3 Grand Finals fighting for that first prize of €50,000 and the title of Season 3 Grand Finalist. So tank picking has begun. We've got a T1 AMX 5100 for Team WD. This is Ruinberg, so already 2 5100s and 2 T1s for Team WD. Quite an ambitious lineup, but that's really what they like from the south. T69 AMX 5100 for Lucky Kuraky, T1 AMX 1390 for Team WD, and then 2 I think 2 5100s, but they seem to be a little bit confused. And 2 T1s, an AMX 5100 and an AMX 1390 for Team WD. They've kind of like said, okay, this is a system of what we do tank pickings. Let's just not do it and let's try our own system out, which is confusing me a little bit. But I think they've actually restarted, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. Yeah,
they're having a moment.
They're having a little bit of a moment here. I mean, 2 tanks and then 1 tank is kind of hard. But 2 T1s, T69 MX 5100, double T69 for Team WD, T69 MX 5100 for Lucky Kuraky, KV5 from Team WD. That tier 8 Russian premium tank coming into the equation. Quite interesting pick. Last pick from Lucky Kuraky is going to be an MX 1390, making their final lineup here for our first game on Ruinberg. A double 5100, double T69, AMX 1390, double T1. And for Team WD, something a little bit strange. They got that KV5, double T69, 5100, AMX 1390, double T1.
That KV5, man.
That KV5, yeah.
That KV5. Well, we'll see if it actually pays off, because as we saw in the last game, you do not want to give away any early advantage to the opposition, as Spale did, and they felt the pain of it later on. And, well, God only knows what would happen if we lost so many members. I believe Odemortars are actually currently up in results, so they're looking like they could be staying within this league, but even just 2 new additions through the relegations would be a real kind of shake-up here. So, guys, I believe they're just about ready. So, moments away from Ruinberg, and, well, if it's anything up to the quality of what we saw before, this is going to be amazing. So, guys, let's get ready.
Ruinberg is one of our newest city maps, and it's fairly large, being 800 by 800 meters. There are 3 main routes of attack: the roads leading to the city, the road going through the middle, and the village area. Each of these have 2 important areas to control. The city has very large roads and plenty of opportunities for teams to flank. The long roads also provide for good sniping areas as well as corner shooting. Teams often push through the village area, and once controlled, the team can move on to the enemy's base. You should pick heavy tanks with high alpha damage for corner sniping, as well as a faster tank for the middle spot.
So, welcome into the first map. As Joe said, it's going to be Ruinberg. And in the north, in that gold and yellow, it will be Lucky Kuraky. And in the south, in the blue, it's Team WD. Now, what are we seeing so far from the start here?
So, looks like Team WD actually favouring kind of the standard tactic. Obviously, they have picked kind of a similar lineup, although that KV5 has been featured here. And you got World of WoT, Nicholas Black, Utik Epes, and 505 all heading up towards that middle area, and Mr. Chef for the side shots. But Lucky Kuraky, something completely different, pushing very heavily into the middle. This could be really, really bad for Mr. Chef, but he has managed to scamper out of there pretty quickly. That's the MX 1390 speed coming into the equation. But this is Lucky Kuraky in a nutshell. They love those city engagements.
Yeah, they must do. They're going all out for it. They really are putting all their eggs in one city basket, and we'll see if this one really pays off because, well, as you mentioned, Mr. Chef could have been in trouble if those reloads were available, but he just managed to basically spot out all of the opposition. So these guys now have to be working themselves back into this one pretty much. They have got that initial disadvantage, but still, this still has, you know, a bit of a possibility. Bonto has spotted out the rest of the tanks for Lucky Kuraky, and we are seeing a little bit of a counterplay coming around. You can see World of WoT and Yuto Capez getting some fire down, does get a couple of shells landing, but World of WoT also receiving one himself. So a bit of an even exchange, but the positions here, absolutely insane. It's
mental. It's like one team is going for the cap and the other team is doing exactly the same thing, but I think Team WD will get there quicker, and also they have the 5100 of 505 sitting back, so he could possibly be resetting, and he's going to be in a good position to deal that and also spot out. So Team WD definitely in the favor right now, although they have lost both their T1, so they kind of either got to win that firefight or cap. They can't really do both at the same time. But Lucky Kuraky, they're certainly being aggressive. We see the first engagement.
We do indeed, and that's German Falcon there, challenging out World of WoT. He's got backup, however. Nicholas Black splits off, goes for the bit of the advantage pick there. He's going to pick that one up, and now we're going to have to see a bit of a quick scamper back to their own flag, because right now Team WD had that counterplay ready, and they're happy to run with it. Matt PL has got to be sent back now. He cannot challenge openly like this. He's got 3 shells available, down to 654 HP. 34 seconds left. These guys need to start focusing on how to retake this one. They are splitting off. Bit of a 2-2 split here to try and challenge. Nicholas Black receives another shell, down to 881. But Yuto Capez is going to be the target of focus. But these guys taking down Nicholas Black fairly low. 20 seconds now remain. Can they get into this point? Jamal picks him up. 2 more targets standing their way. Mr. Chef laying down the fire from afar. They need to make this happen fast. Jamal is doing it. 2 in a row for him. He's going to be going for the hat-trick if he could, but the reload wasn't there. Kelly picks it up. And to be fair, Lucky Kuraky have cracked this one open.
Absolutely fantastic. And 505 is really the only damage dealer left. He's got all 5 shells. Well, he just shot 1. So yeah, Mr. Chef, he's on reload. But great little play from Lucky Kuraky. They saw that both Mr. Chef and that MX 1390 and 505 were out of position, unable to help. So that made it a very good engagement for them indeed, even though they'd lost that to MX 1390 in the initial engagement. But those 2 T1s now coming in handy. This is the extra dimension of pressure I'm always talking about coming out from Lucky Kuraky, putting them in the cap, leaving so little time for 505 to try and steal this one back.
Well, he's going to try with everything he has with 3 seconds remaining. He's got to make the shell count if he can, but I think he's just about run out of time. He didn't land the shell, and there you have it. It'll be Lucky Kuraky, I believe, picking up the first map.
Indeed, it will be absolutely. Once again, you know, we saw it in the last game, Asuba versus Spale. The aggressive team being the new team coming in and just showing the old boys how it is done in the new school. And I'm a massive fan of the old school, but that is exactly how you should play Ruinberg. And well, from the city, because you know, Team WD, they like that initial middle engagement. They tried for that, but then again, it just didn't work. We saw some side shots coming in, and then, you know, regardless of the fact that Lucky Kuraky lost the MX 1390 in that beginning engagement, they managed to really see the weakness of not having those tanks together. Yeah. Came around, the KV-5, it absorbed a lot of damage, but it didn't bounce anything, so it was kind of pointless anyway. So maybe if that KV-5 had been like a 50-100 or another T69, it might have been a different story. But yeah, Lucky Kuraky really stomping their dominance.
Yeah, and that was an interesting start. As you said, they went for that city presence, first of all. Very strange start. We don't usually see that, but they made it work. And, well, that cap went absolutely nowhere for Team WD, and Jamal played absolutely perfectly then. Coming around, picking up, I think, 2 or 3 at a push, and then got forced onto the reload. But still, the T69 seems to be doing pretty well at the moment. Anyway, the next map will be Ensk. So, you know, this was a bit of a defining one for Isuba. That showed how well they played when it came right down to the wire. They really turned it on when it mattered. And I'm kind of curious to see if Lucky Kuraky can do the same. Because, as you mentioned, this new school kind of way they're playing, quite aggressive, very responsive. It's clearly, you know, shaking things up. And Team WD, they're struggling here.
They certainly are. I mean, they're really now 1-0 down, and it's a slippery slope for them. They don't want to be leaving us for Season 4. They have everything to play for. Yep. And Lucky Kuraky, you know, they can play well on city maps. They are a Polish team who are renowned for their city map play. I mean, we can take Mousesports and Evil Panda Squad as clear examples of that. So it's going to be a struggle for them. I think Team WD, they are pretty good on Ensk in general. Ruinberg is always a little bit of a strange one because no team has really found that meta. They have never really found that groove where, okay, that's how we're going to play Ruinberg, let's say like a map like Himmelsdorf. But tank picking has begun, so we can jump straight into that with a double T1 from Lucky Kuraky, double AMX 5100 from Team WD. Oh, no, a T1 and AMX 5100 from Team WD, double IS3 for Lucky Kuraky, T1 AMX 5100 for Team WD. So just the normal picks coming out. I imagine it's going to be pretty much that kind of trend with the Tier 8 French tank and the Tier 8 Russian tank, the AM5100 and that IS3. Maybe maybe a 416, maybe a Waffentrager, but I think we won't see that so much anymore. Double 5100 for Lucky Kuraky, double IS3 for Team WD. Last pick from Lucky Kuraky is going to be the IS3. Last pick from Team WD is going to be the 5100, making Lucky Kuraky's final lineup a triple IS3, double 5100, double T1. So pretty standard, and I think that's going to actually be mirrored by, no, triple 5100, double IS3, double T1. So just that switch between the 5100 and the IS3.
Yeah, and normally you back that 5100 choice there, especially, you know, in a map like this or maybe Himmelsdorf. It always seems to kind of reign supreme, and even in the stats alone, it does speak for itself there, hitting the only real positive damage to damage received ratio, so always doing well and coming out best in those situations. And Ensk, I'm not sure what to expect. As you said, Team WD, they have strength on this, they can play well. But then you look at Ruinberg, which did, you know, kind of go down in that city section. They tried to have Mr. Chef as the covering fire on the point. It just didn't work at all. They could not find that groove, that kind of cohesion that they sometimes find, and it works out perfectly. But they struggled there. But maybe they can kind of sort something out, maybe dig deep enough, because we saw it before, a 3-0 for a brand new team coming into the league. And I wouldn't be surprised if, these guys can actually keep it up because they're looking so damn strong at the moment. Lucky Kuraky there played very nicely responsively. They didn't have the initial setup that, let's say, would be super effective against some teams, but, they went for it. They tried to switch things up, played fairly uniquely, and I quite like that. I like a little bit of variation towards it. There's nothing wrong with it, as long as they can pull off that reactive play if it doesn't quite go right, and they did. But Ensk, do you think they'll have that? Do you reckon they'll be going for that green zone, or do you think they'll play it city-wise?
I mean, we've seen teams start to head over to that green zone a lot more, throughout Season 2 and Season 2, where it was really dominant, that city push. But the map changes and the game changes, so the green zone has become more and more favoured. And I think we might see some play, at least at the beginning, taking a leaf out of Asuba's book, certainly, these two teams. So I think, I think there's a good possibility of that.
I want to see how that kind of unfolds because, as we saw, previously, Isuba played the rotate so well, and they brought it down to an area they could really dominate. They played it perfectly with that cap, the resets, and we're seeing a lot of capping within this game, even though it's fairly heavy tanks. There's no, 3090s in this. There's no kind of whizzing around the maps, even the 416s, for example. But even with the big tanks, that real, down to an absolute T play was sensational, and if Lucky Kuraky can do it again, I'll be really impressed with these guys, and I have been so far with every new team coming into this, and I kind of want to get an update from the Odin Mortis guys. Normally Yukai is our kind of updater. He kind of lets us know mid-game. It's like after he dies, he lets us know. And quote-unquote, you didn't get rid of us. We are leading 2-0 with one map left. So these guys still in with a bit of an advantage. Hopefully they can let us know if it does go well for them, because that'll be the only team...
Well. Actually, I'm pretty sure that they won it because the German casters just joined us in this game. So, just judging by the time, there's no way you would have played another 3 games.
All out. That's a
so
very good
pretty
point.
Sure,
Detective Oliver.
100% sure that Odin Mortis are going to be staying with us for Season 4.
100% sure. I know you're bad with your numbers. Apparently we both are, but let's hope we haven't messed that one up. But I do want this game to start. But these guys are taking their time. As we said, we do have some new casters coming in apparently to spec this one, so they're just going to make sure they are ready. Hopefully they are, because I want to see this one unfold, because Team WD really showed some talent coming into this league. They struggled, don't get me wrong, but some of their individual players were fantastic. Nicholas Black, for me alone, was absolutely brilliant to watch. 505 has his moments, as does Mr. Chef, but whether or not they can pull it off here is a completely different matter.
Indeed, I mean, it's all about that play, and I think we're going to be seeing how the second map's going to fold. It's going to be on Ensk.
Ensk is a simple map on the face of it, but requires the most skillful team play to play properly. Being such a small map at 600 by 600 meters, the areas of attack are confined to through the city, through the railroads, or through the green zone. The fearsome city side, often famed for its fierce firefights, the railroads and green zone areas are hard to play as they have many death alleys. The railroads provide little cover but good sniping locations. Tanks can shoot over and navigate through the trains to ambush and weaken the opposition. When playing Ensk, always keep in mind that teams may try and rush for the cap and not go for the city brawl. Also, take tanks that can both deal a lot of damage and react quickly to situations.
So welcome into that second map, as Joe kindly told us. It will be Ensk, and we keep him locked in a small cupboard just for map intros. But tell us what we're seeing so far here.
So we're seeing Team WD, quite a strange tactic, actually. Not going for the green side at all, but going for the kind of boxing we see Mousesports playing a few times. Kuraky and Nicholas Black playing his 2 I3s, heading up more towards the standard place. And for Lucky Kuraky, not so passive as we've seen teams from North play on Ensk, and he gets punished straight away. German Falcon down to 6, 7, 8, and that's some brilliant shots coming out from the 2 IS3s. So punished immediately, taking down to just below half HP, and yeah, perfect start from them. That's WD, and their kind of aggressive push into the city. That's Lucky Kuraky. Hasn't worked out so well, but they can still come back from this. They just need to make sure that they play cleverly, they use their spatial awareness and just their tactics and their ability they showed on Ruhenberg to try and break down Team WD, get some shots from their own, do some damage of their own, and just take up another win.
Well, I think that initial damage did kind of scare the Lucky Kuraky side, as now they're playing very, very slowly, very passively. They went on that initial bit of a push there, got some good ground. But now, if you've ever watched, Mouse Sports, as you mentioned, they like to play that baseline all the way through this. They will not be moving. And I think Lucky Kuraky are kind of cottoning onto that. You can really break through too easily against someone head-on in that sort of position. You've got to kind of split it and work it out smartly. And I'm curious to see how they feel they can adapt to this. Matt, Jamal, Kelly, I believe Coco, and everyone is now moving back. They're looking for a different way through. And I don't think that's a bad idea. They could even just play this passively and wait out that time, as they do already have that, fairly sizable advantage at the moment. They, map-wise, should I say. They can play it quite cautiously, play it quite passively. 8 minutes left. But you think they're going to go towards that green zone and possibly go for a flank or hit up that railroad section? Yeah,
I think they're just trying one of those two. Either one would possibly work. They're just trying a different angle, trying a different tactic, and maybe just catch out Team WoT, who seem to be quite passive in the city at this point. Just catch them unawares and maybe put some pressure in the cap with their two living T1s, Quixie Phil and CNNK, the two team captains. So I think that's the options for them, although they haven't really edged towards the green side as much as I would have thought. Definitely staying back into that top third and just taking up defensive positions. Now they lost a little bit HP, but a quick update on the other game that went over on the other side. It was WoT Pro versus Cats in Spain. WoT Pro actually won on their 5th map. They will be staying with us for the season 4 of the WGL EU. So massive congratulations to them. At least we get to keep one team we love here. Spiel obviously left us. So far today we already know that Wusa, Freefall, and WSD Gaming are going to be joining us 100%. But Asuba is going to be joining us, and WoT Pro are going to be staying with us.
Yeah, but at the moment it seems though Lucky Kuraky have lost their W key. And they are just chilling out right now. Those IS-3s are not moving for love or money. And I say that, and Jamal's going for a little bit of a ride around. So he's going to be looking for a way through here. Maybe just knock down that wall and go for a cheeky peek. There we go. Just going to side scrape his way down there, see if he can spot anything out. As you mentioned, the armor on that IS-3, if positioned correctly, can be absolutely perfect. But we'll see if that actually pays off because, it's all about patience this game. That discipline can be absolutely key.
It's all about making sure that you use every opportunity to take an advantage. All about just making sure you punish the other team for any tiny little mistakes in terms of position they might very well do. And it looks like Team WoT have had enough of waiting around now. 6 minutes and 10 seconds left until the end of this game. They're obviously one map down on Ruinberg, so they're pushing forwards, although Nicholas Pack does get spotted by Kola 213 from Lucky Kuraky, so that push already being spotted out pretty early on. He's going to try and connect a shell, both miss, so no damage done, no comeback for a Team WoT, but their whole team has pushed forwards. We've seen this before, and we can see if Lucky Kuraky can actually just engage from the side, come around that corner, and stop this aggressive movement from Team WoT.
They're in a good position to do so as well. Obviously, Kelly and Jamal, they're down by that 5, 6, and 7 line. They can easily flank around the side if they can play it carefully enough. And Joe and Falcon and Kola there can just sit it out, use those IS-3s to their strength. Mr. Chef and 505 have now popped up on their radar. Jamal does get a great shell through. 505 now down to 1004 HP. Big chunk of damage taken away from him. I think the tier 1 battle is going down. Well, actually, it will be the Quixie Phil to fall as there was 2v1. Bit unfair. Kelly PL going to go and mop up the remains probably, but still, it's still very tentative right now. 5 minutes left. We saw Team WoT edging forward. They're looking for that way through, and they might just about find it in a moment.
Indeed, they will, but that's going to allow Team WoT to push forwards. They're going to go straight into Lucky Kuraky.
They are indeed. They're going to be charging straight ahead. Jamal is in trouble. He's going to have to back the hell away. Just getting reload available now, but look at the ground that Team WoT have covered. But German Falcons there gets a great shot towards 505. Kola just about missing that shell, but still, here comes Team WoT. They are going to be applying that pressure as much as possible. The cap has begun, but can they hold on to this? 42 seconds left. They need to take down Jamal, and he's not going to fall. It's him picking up 505. Yuto goes low. Kelly PL on the rotate comes around the perfect time, picks that one up, and now just 3 remain for Team WoT. This could be a 2-0 already. Mr. Chef was tracked, held in place. Kola looking like he wants to pick that one up, and right now we are seeing absolute decimation as Nicholas Black going blow for blow with German Falcon and Matt. He's going to lose out there, leaving just Bontot left alive, and Lucky Kuraky doing it once again.
Just pushing out Team WoT from the cap, not letting them into into that game at all. And also, incredibly, it was 5 versus 4, and Lucky Kuraky still won it. You know, Kelly PL was sitting up into the Team WD's base, capping, putting that pressure on from the other angle. So great little play from there. Perfect positions to deal with the extra tank. They took that one tank down very quickly. Some great play by German Falcon. We can kind of have a look at the damage. Yeah, German Falcon doing 1.8k at the top. Then it was
nice.
followed by Matt PL and Kelly PL. So great play from Lucky Kuraky, both going on the offensive and being very daring with that offensive movement, because it's kind of a hard thing to play on your own, playing 5100 forwards while the rest of your team sits backwards, because it's unsupported 100%, although the 5100 does kind of excel in that position. But that's Kelly PL for you. If anyone remembers Panzer Fist, the team that came second in the first ever offline finals, he was one of their star players there, so it's hardly surprising.
And I also want to give credit to Jamal there. He got pushed at the very worst time, and he handled it really well. He backed away perfectly. He waited for that reload to be available. He didn't go for the easy shot that would have been, you know, right in front of him at times. He allowed, you know, his teammates to cover him off, put faith in them to actually hold his flank, and focus on the tanks that he could actually deal with. And I really enjoyed watching that. It's nice to see a team who's got that kind of trust in teammates to be able to go, okay, do you know what? I'm going to trust you guys to watch me here so I can do the best job I can within my position. And he pulled it off. It was certainly something to watch. And, well, you know, Himmelsdorf coming up next. We saw this being the undoing almost of Speil early on. Do you reckon we'll see something similar? Because at the moment, 0-2 to a team that's just, you know, possibly getting themselves into this league. Is this going to go to a 3-0 again?
It could quite possibly. It does look that way. Yeah. Both times now on Nuremberg on Ensk, Lucky Kuraky just being the better team. Full stop, in terms of just their general basic ability in tanks, just to be able to hit the shells and also stop the damage. Like there's 251 that came around the corner onto Jamel, and they just couldn't kill him. He stayed alive, and that was, you know, just his ability to play, to use the side scraper of the IS-3 and just get the shots out when he needed to. So that expended way too many shells for those 251 just to be able to come back into the game. So yeah, I would maybe think that this could be another 3-0. But I'm pretty sure, by the way they're playing, Lucky Kuraky is going to end up moving Team WD out of this league.
If it keeps going like this, they certainly will. Really showing some talent here. And credit where it's due. There's nothing wrong with seeing teams coming into this who, you know, aren't part of the WoT Pro League, yet showing that they can compete. Because normally when you get to the relegations, it's like, oh, okay, this could be one-sided. But, you know, the one thing that I do love about ESL, I know I'm blowing our own trumpet here, but, you know, the Ace series, the Go4 series, you know, all of this provides the perfect place for teams to actually be able to get this good and try their hand against the very best teams out there. And this is what, you know, you can see in front of you right now. And there's nothing stopping guys at home getting involved via the Go4s and seeing how you guys would do. If you've got, you know, your teammates there and you think you might stand a chance, there's money on the line to be won. Don't get me wrong, these guys do it for prestige, but it doesn't, you know, it doesn't hurt that you get a big chunk of change in your pocket every week if you win it. So I like seeing these guys really showing that it does work. That natural progression through the different, you know, series and the different, you know, routes that are available. You can get up to that kind of competitive level. Don't get me wrong. Don't expect to be going to be in Virtus Pro and Dignitas, but, you know, you can really get into this, you know, kind of scene and really show your worth. Yeah,
that's how all these top teams got there in the end. You know, the one great thing about World of Tanks is that, you know, we have every single week in the Go4s, we have, you know, Team Dignitas, we've got Virtus Pro, we've got Na'Vi, we've got Red Rush Unity, we've got Wusa, we've got Mouse Sports, we've got Denova, we've got every single team who's amazing still playing in there. And, you know, you can just play it and see how you do. If you like it, then like all these teams, they never got into this game like, okay, we're going to be the #1 team. It's like Na'Vi got into this game saying, okay, we're going to beat everyone. They just start playing with some friends and they just happen to get so good. But jumping back into our third match and possibly decisive map, it's going to be Himmelsdorf, and tank picking has begun. Double T1 for Mr. Chef from Team WD, double T1 from Lucky Kuraky, double 51 for Team WD, double IS3 for Lucky Kuraky. So this is Himmelsdorf, which is the archetypal city map. We wouldn't expect anything too unusual. Maybe a Waffentrager, a Waffle Tiger, as it's affectionately known and coined by the lovely Rukil. I've never described a man as lovely before, but for Rukil, I will do it.
Can I join in? He is a lovely man, isn't he?
Yeah.
Did you see the finals where they made it? Well, I didn't make him take off the hat, but he was hatless. I was scared. He has hair.
It was like losing a limb for him.
I was like, oh my god, what? He didn't have his glasses on.
I was expecting to have like a massive brain coming out of his head.
I kind of want like an afro to appear. You know what I mean? Like something really out there, just bing. It'd be amazing. But no, we do love Rukil, obviously. And if you are, you know, lacking tank content, if you do love your World of Tanks and, you know, this isn't enough for you, do head over to the WLNA and check out what they're doing as well, because that goes live every week. But I believe the tank picks are still continuing. Is there any surprise you think we're going to see here, or is this going to be your normal Himmelsdorf?
I think this is going to be your normal Himmelsdorf. Maybe in the mid-season games we might see something unusual, but I think these teams just want to play it out just as normal tanks, not picking anything too unusual. So double IS3 for Team WD, double 5100 for Lucky Kuraky. Last pick from Team WD is going to be the 5100. Last pick from Lucky Kuraky is going to be the IS3. So once again, just that switch between Team WD picking the extra 5100 as well as those two IS3s and those two T1s, whilst Lucky Kuraky have gone with the heavier, more alpha damage 3 IS3s, double 5100, double T1.
Interesting choices here. Normally the more favorable side, or the tank choices by statistics, are with Team WD, so maybe they can turn something around here, because let's keep in mind, they are 0-2 at the moment. They are one map away, this very map away, from leaving the WT Pro League. Now that's not going to stop them from getting involved, playing in the Go Forms, playing in A-Series, but it's a bit of a hard blow. Obviously, I think Spell actually quit World of Tanks, which is a really sad thing to see. You know, they were, you know, a truly great side, but it's the way the cookie crumbles. It's, you know, it's harsh, but we might be seeing another team in that same position. Will they stay together? Will they, you know, be able to kind of go through this? Because, you know, the likes of Lucky Kuraky, the likes of Isuba, they've fought through that. They've dropped out of these leagues. They've battled back into it. And I'd love to see some of these teams do the same again, really work hard for it and try and, you know, reclaim their place within this league, because it's certainly something to play for. Let me just remind them to count down. And we will be underway nice and shortly, because, well, this is what it comes down to. It's going to be Himmelsdorf, the defining map, some might say, of World of Tanks, where you see those heavy tanks just going blow for blow, really battling out. So, guys, let's get ready for what could possibly be the final map for Team WD.
Himmelsdorf is the city maps of city maps. It's a small one, being 600 by 600 meters. There are 3 routes of attack: the hill, the banana, and the train side. The middle area is relatively easy to push, however can end up in disaster as you can be flanked from every side. The road, often called banana, allows for direct head-on assaults but requires a lot of resources. Both the railroad area and the road next to it are good routes of attack, being very open and straight. However, for those very same reasons, you can be easily caught out and taken down. The map features many densely housed areas, which provides good places for engagements and routes of attack. Teams must be aware of the various routes their opponents can take through the map, as well as the hull-down positions enemies can take throughout the entire map. The trick with Himmelsdorf is to catch an enemy tank unsupported by his teammates and then use that advantage to collapse on the entire enemy team.
So welcome to Himmelsdorf, ladies and gentlemen. This could be the final stand for Team WD if they can't pull this one out of the bag. And they will be starting in the south, in the blue, facing off against Lucky Kuraky in the north in the gold and yellow. What are we seeing so far? So
a bit of a mirror strategy from both these two teams, favouring that hill push. For Team WD, at least, it's going to be Mr. Chef, Kluji, and Bontos, 505, and World of War heading up that. Nicholas Black and Yuto Kepes sitting up in that 8 line in the middle just to defend those areas. For the side of Lucky Kuraky, we got quite a few of their tanks heading up. They're going to be trying to stop any push and really just stop the kind of the D-line snipe, which you see quite a lot of teams favouring from the south. But at the moment, Lucky Kuraky certainly in the better position, because Team WD, you can see they've kind of reversed. They've been a little bit unsure if they really want to go for that heavy push onto the hill. Only really Bontos Kirk has gone forwards, and he's going to be trying to spot out those. But that information for Team WD will be crucial, and hopefully they can get themselves back into these games.
Yeah, Kelly PL actually missing the shell there onto Bontos, but Matt will not. And the charge can continue down towards that hill. That is going to be the mass reversing of Team WD. Lucky Kuraky not committing actually to that push. They're going to be just taking the time, playing it smart, because the counter-strike down towards that banana 7-8 line has begun from Team WD. It's
Nicholas Blank, that all-star player from Team WD pushing forward. German Falcon will connect that first shell, the BL9, 122mm, doing 393 damage, taking Nicholas Black down to 1107. So Team WD's strategy has already been picked apart, and I think it's not a great strategy at all. And you can see see Lucky Kuraky already on the defensive, heading back, getting themselves into good position. But Team WD also has something up their sleeve. Mr. Chef, Kuraky, heading up the hill, going to try and take it from behind if they can, try and make it from another angle. But it's a question if they can really do that. 505, another punishing shell. He's down to 621. Team WD certainly not in the driving seat.
No, indeed. And to be fair, credit to Lucky Kuraky. They didn't just forget about the hill. They left that tier 1 up there. They spread out Mr. Chef and Kluge. And now Matt PL and Kelly PL will be keeping eyes on that, leaving the rest of the 3 tanks to focus on that midsection that was pressured by 505, Nicholas Black, and co. Let's see what they can do. Actually, Jamal and Kola are going for a bit of a counter push here towards 505. I'm not sure if they're going to expect the 3 tanks here. They only spotted out 1 truly from this position. They could be in trouble if they go flying around this corner. And they're going to commit. Nicholas Black is literally moments away. They've finally just realized German Falcon splitting off as well. They've gone for a 2-1 split. This could pay off perfectly. They've not allowed the other tanks from the hill to support them. Now German Falcon is coming around in the best position possible to really cause some damage towards these IS-3s, and he's going to do just that. Nicholas Black receives a huge shell, taking him down to 726. 505 wasn't quite quick enough on the trigger to get around there, and Nicholas Black receives another. He's going to be screaming for help right now, and there's nothing to be found. The Falcon swoops in, takes down Nicholas Black. WoT Capez is surrounded by the opposition. There's no escape in this one. 4 tanks staring him down. German Falcon keeping 505 from the battle. And now it looks like 505 will be falling in some fashion soon, as WoT Capez just about staying alive with Kola there. He's going to be rammed down and taken solo. 123 HP left. He's going to be removed from this battle with 1 more shell, somehow staying alive in this and somehow doing damage. But there we go. Kola finally lands that damage-dealing blow, leaving just 3 alive.
It's Mr. Chef, Kluge, and World of War left for the side of Team WD. GG's already going out. That's a confident Lucky Kuraky indeed. Mr. Chef now surrounded by Jamal and German Falcon. He's just going to be dead in a second.
Yeah, it's impending doom for Mr. Chef. 2 tanks coming down on him straight away. German Falcon, Jamal, and now Kelly all surrounding him here. He's got no way out of this situation. He's going to be taken out by Jamal, leaving just Kluge alive. The last man really standing who could do anything in the situation. But the HP of Lucky Kuraky is huge here. These guys didn't take much damage. They played it perfectly. And Falcon picking up 2 kills there. 2 critical kills. But can they locate that final player and try and work out where he is? Kluge has just been spotted by Kola. Kola has taken a bit of damage, but a stunning little reply. 400 HP chipped away from Kluge. And now look at the positioning. Immediately, he's gone into this one using that side armor from that IS-3 just to tease him out, try and get that ideal shot. And he's bouncing shells there, and there's no way that Kluge can get out of this one now.
He's certainly dead. No way back for Team WD. 3-0, another 3-0 as Matt PL strikes him straight in the face, and Kelly PL takes down World of War. What are we seeing here? We're seeing...
Oh my god.
I mean, in the history of relegations in 3 seasons, we have never seen as many teams go out.
No.
We've got now Asuba takes down Speil. We got Team WD getting taken down by Lucky Kuraky. So today we've seen 2 teams out of 3. Odomois obviously fought for their position and won it 3-0 against Kaz in Spain. So they'll be joining us for Season 4. So just amazing play by Lucky Kuraky, really showing their dominance on those city maps, winning both Rumenberg, Ensk, and finally Himmelsdorf.
Absolutely unbelievable play from these young guns coming into this, showing that, coming with a fresh mentality, something that, can really surprise, can really pick you up these games. And, well, Lucky Kuraky certainly entering the league now with some sort of fire behind them, showing that they have drastically improved from the last time we've seen them, as did Isuba. And I just can't wait to see what they can bring now.
I think they've got plenty of, as you said, fire in their bellies. And as Asuba, they can just make sure and concentrate on their consistency, make sure they are ready to really face the might of teams like Mouse Sports and Denova, as well as obviously Virtus Pro and Team Dignitas. And I think we can't really ask for any more. Just as a quick summary, we've got WUSA, Freefall, and WSD Gaming, 2 from A Series WUSA and Freefall. WSD Gaming coming from GoFall. That's our 3 at the beginning of today, who are 100% going to be joining us for Season 4. 2 today in the up and downs, which we found out. We've got Asuba coming in, beating Speil 3-0, and now we've got Lucky Kuraky coming in, beating Team WD 3-0. So 5 teams are going to be joining us completely new into Season 4. Just what the hell?
Absolutely unreal results today. And guys, make sure you get involved with this. I want to know your thoughts, and I want to know how many of you actually predicted that one as well, because the first one, that's an upset. This one again, I would never have bet like this. I would have said, maybe a 3-2, something around that mark, a close game either way. But unreal results today, absolutely unreal. And it is a shame to see Team W leaving us, but, Spale really hurt us earlier. These guys, they've been absolutely instrumental in the seasons, up kind of to this point. But with teams like Isuba and, as we just saw, Lucky Kuraky showing some real talent, they certainly deserve their positions. And I personally cannot wait now for Season 4.
It's going to be one hell of a season. Free Fall, Iwusu came second at WCG. Free Fall, who are friends with and partners and sister clan with Spale. They're going to be incredible. WSD Gaming has just done so many good Go 4s. They've got some real talent behind them. Suba, a known team in Season 1. Lucky Kuraky, a known team in Season 1, seem to just step up to the next level, especially Asuba. I mean, they just played so well, real spatial awareness and just amazing ability to kind of like a Mouse Sports-esque style team.
Very
lovely how they play. So I can't wait what we've got coming into Season 4. But first, we got the Season 3 finals.
We do indeed, and that's not too far away as well. I believe you did mention the dates earlier.
Yeah, we got third week of January is where we'll be going. We'll be heading to Poland. A few more details coming very soon on the WoTProLeague.com website. Obviously, you've got to keep up to date there. Also posted on the forum.WoTtanks.eu as well, if you want to just have a look there as well.
And obviously, there's nothing stopping you following us two, or us three on Twitter. We'll bring her in a moment. She's sitting there looking like, don't you dare close this show out yet. Don't you dare. I still have things to say. So don't worry, I can see you out of the corner of my eye. But I'm just going to say, do make sure you follow us, obviously, on Twitter. As you can see below there, we will be keeping you updated as much as we know as well. We did let you know they'll be in Poland. We did let you know the dates, roughly. And there'll be more details coming towards the finals very soon, which we'll be letting you know. But before we say goodbye, before I get punched in the face from that direction, let's bring back in Melly and do let us know how many people actually predicted that being another 3-0.
Darling, I would never do such a thing. You know that, right?
Well,
what a proper ending for a season, right?
Incredible.
With so much fresh blood coming up. We saw some incredible matches. We saw some amazing plays on the maps. It was just insane. And yeah, the community for this matchup, well, it was pretty balanced, I must say. I expected different, to be honest.
Yeah.
But the results of the vote ended with a really slight favor of 3% for Lucky Kuraky. So we have 53% for Lucky Kuraky and 47% for Team WD. And the comments, the predictions in the comments, say, were pretty balanced too. All of them predicted a not so close ending, but for both sides. So I saw 3-1s, 4-1s, which is not possible today, but A for effort. But well, that's pretty much all regarding the challenge and the vote on Facebook, facebook.com/WoT Pro League. As Laughter kindly said, we will keep you updated regarding every news on regarding the league and everything. You will find everything there first. Well, pretty much first, right after they got released on our homepage. And follow us there, follow us on Twitter, make sure following our lovely casters. Follow me if you like. And yes, it was nice. I missed you guys. I must say, I was sitting with you two here. I missed you at home. And people from the Christmas challenge, again, thank you very much for participating. And don't you worry, we will answer your messages. It will take a little time because we have so many messages in our inbox right now. It is completely full. There's no other word for that. But thank you very much. I will message you soon, or my helpers, and you will get your codes. And I will post the winners for the challenge if there are winners. I haven't seen some yet, but I will post it on Facebook, and thank you very much. That's all from me.
Well, it's been a bit of an up and down day, hasn't it?
It's been up and down for the up and downs.
It has been indeed. It's it's been a little bit of heartbreak, a little bit of excitement, seeing a lot of new teams coming in. I'm certainly going to be watching at least the first game back. Some of the play that Isu brought out was something to be really noted, let's just mention, because it was something to... I can't wait to see them in Season 4 now. It's... For a new team coming in as well, showing that sort of skill, I can't believe it. And obviously Lucky Kuraky as well. You know, even on Himmelsdorf, the way they kind of executed was just perfect. Really enjoyed that. but what a great day it was.
Amazing day. Yeah, as you said, upsets, heartbreak, fantastic tanks. I mean, what could you ask for in a day? But, you know, just as a quick summary in case you missed it, Isuba 3-0 Spale, so they'll be joining us. And now Lucky Kuraky also joining us. So 5 teams altogether. Wusa, Freefall, and WSD Gaming already in Season 4. So 5 teams new in Season 4. Fresh blood, all extremely talented, all amazing, all training a lot. And thanks for the new team mode as well. It'll be a lot easier to train. So I think Season 4 will just be the closest season we've seen.
It certainly will be. And if you do want to keep up to date with that, obviously follow us via all the social media aspects that we let you know about. And follow us on Twitch as well, because as soon as we go live again, you'll get a notification. Simple as that. But guys, that's it from us tonight. I can only apologize it being such a short show, but, you know, upsets are upset. 3-0s are 3-0s, and we've seen teams join us, teams leave us. But, you know, we'll be back. We'll be here for the grand finals. We'll be there for the offline finals. We'll be seeing that top 6 once again battling out for a huge prize pot. So make sure you follow us via this channel, via all the Twitters, and on Facebook to know exactly when that's going live. So, guys, hopefully see you next time.